Well, Defiance and Shawnee are no strangers to each other. The Western Buckeye League members already met once earlier this year in conference play. The Bulldogs taking a 45-38 win on their home court. Tonight, they meet again. Same time, same place. Instead now, though, the stakes just a little bit higher. The winner advances to next Wednesday's matchup against Lima Senior. Tonight, the first round of the sectional playoffs. It means the postseason is here. While the winner earns the right to wear the uniform at least one more time, the loser packs up their gear until next season. Welcome aboard, everybody, as the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on the air. DCTV Sports, Brent Palbinot alongside the coach Chris Dales. We are back at the Dog Pound. It's been a little too long, Coach, but a lot more on the line here. Look, as a coach, anytime you get to that postseason, I know the old cliche is everybody's record is now even. 0-0. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. But at the same time, the coaches are aware of it. The players are aware of it. Yeah, do you have to give any big or exceptional pregame speeches, or do you just try and treat it like any other contest?
You know, in this time of the year, I think that you got to put a little bit more into it. You got to put a lot more film work into it, a little bit more preparation as far as, you know, walking through. Maybe not so much of the physical stuff out there, but these teams know each other well, and it's hard to beat someone twice, especially in the WBL. You know, so the Defiance has their work cut out. But, you know, the main thing is, you know, the girls know each other, you know, even though, you know, they're quite a ways away. The coaches know each other. So it's going to be a good game tonight.
So you beat me to it. And does that make a difference from the athlete's perspective, one way or the other, knowing you've beaten or lost to a team, the scout is out, or is that just a push at best?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot to that. You know, there's a lot of psyche to that. And, you know, Defiance has got to be careful that they're not too overly confident. They won, you know, and Shawnee's got to think, you know, hey, we're right there. It's a pretty close game. You know, maybe if we eliminate a turnover here or there, make a layup here or there, you know, it's a whole different ball game. So, you know, you got to take some positives in, you know, from both, you know, teams and build upon it and see what they can do tonight. Situation
here, and we've talked about this before, with a thinner roster now for Defiance. Again, with Angelica Sabalos obviously being out, your heart goes out to her. Likewise for senior Samantha Hohenberger. Yeah. Samantha did come up. You weren't on the mic, I think, for that one against the Fairview game. I waved a headset at her as she was down during warm-ups, just teasing her. Guess who came up and read the starting lineups with us? Look, when you are a senior and you know that this should be your last go-around, it's got to sting just a little bit more. But as a teammate, does that add a little extra fuel to the fire? Hey, we're winning one for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully, you know, the girls, you know, can do that for her, because you definitely want to go out, you know, a win, especially on your home court. And I'm sure that, you know, she's hurting inside. And you know, I would want to be playing, if I was an underclassman, I'd want to be playing for her and to give her one more shot, you know, at being out on the court. So I think there's a lot of truth to that, and I think they're going to come ready to play for them.
We're going to see two very interesting matchups. We'll continue to break them down as the pregame wears along, but two very strong post players. And again, a difference between an upperclassman and a freshman. We'll break down, again, the Wilson-Fernandez battle, but also going to watch the point guard matchup, best on best, as you are going to have, again, Fuzz Rollins against Ava Gadsden's. Now, Gadsden's numbers aren't necessarily glossy, but she runs the offense. She's one of those players, just as an underclassman, the highest compliment a coach can give a player is she makes the rest of her teammates better.
You know, and that's so important. And how is she doing that? You know, you don't always have to score points. You know, are you setting screens? Are you dishing? Are you running the offense? Are you being the general? You know, that's what's important. And the kids really buy into that. And it's all about leadership. And like I said, it's not always about the points, but what are you doing to help your teammate?
You just heard the buzzer sound, which means the players are now officially allowed on the court. They've got 30 minutes to get their warm-ups in. We're just getting started on the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Had a chance to stop out to a Defiance practice yesterday. We're going to hear from head coach Leroy Lewis. And our player profile, we talked about the injury to senior Samantha Hohenberger. Will step up sophomore Nadia Leatherman. Two, not just one, two lightning quick, basically both point guards now on the court at the same time for the Bulldogs. We'll let you tell her in her own words what that transition has been like. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the pregame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV Sports. About time we got back to the dog pound. About time we got back to covering some Defiance girls basketball. And it is time. It is the second season. First round, postseason. Sounds cliche-ish, but it's the truth.
Right.
Everybody has an equal record.
Yes.
Wipe everything clean. At this point in time, you're playing for the right to wear the jersey one more time.
Right.
Now, Defiance, at 8 wins overall, has already quadrupled last year's win total.
Yes.
4 and 5 in the WBL. It's nothing short of impressive. But, Coach, you want a postseason win to go along with this year. Coach Lewis is joining us right now. I guess let's talk a little bit about leading up to this.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been a tough last 3 games, but you watched that. You are home. You've had the opportunity to play tonight's opponent, Shawnee, earlier this year, and you got the win.
Yeah.
So walk us through what the preparation has been like for the postseason opener.
We try to prepare the same way. I obviously told the girls how important this is for Defiance girls basketball, being a chance to win a playoff game and even host a playoff game at home. This is a big deal for us. We haven't been in this situation in a couple of years. So we obviously want to take advantage of it. And I think the girls are excited of what they created this year and just kind of want to build on the momentum of it.
I know it's been tough. You've had injury, and not just a one, but a couple key players. But at the same time, you coach what you got.
Yes.
So let's walk us through how this, basically with the lineup adjustment, and in particular with Nadia Leatherman being pushed in to the starting lineup, just a sophomore.
Yeah.
She's got a little swag to her. You're going to see it during her player profile. She acted like she didn't want to be interviewed, but just wait until the very end. She shows different colors.
Right.
But now that you've had a few weeks underneath your belt, has this new lineup gained a little bit more chemistry?
Yeah, it's a different challenge for me. I mean, just with a sophomore coming into the starting lineup just pushes me as a coach to try to find ways to get her comfortable on the floor and try to get the offense going the same way we had it when Samantha Hohenberger was in the lineup. Just senior experience from Sam, knowing what to do, knowing what not to do is kind of a luxury. But just with a sophomore, I mean, Nadia's been doing a great job just stepping up, using her speed, using her skill that she has, just kind of impacting the game any way she can.
You, in effect, have 2 point guards on the floor when she and Fuzz are together. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have a coexistence, so to speak.
Right.
What does that give you as far as maybe an extra benefit or other options that you might not have otherwise had?
I think that it relieves Jamie a little bit as well as Nadia. I heard Nadia say that it helps her take some pressure off of her, but I think it relieves Jamie of some pressure too, just because Jamie's able to, she trusts Nadia. Like she said, you can tell Nadia looks up to Jamie, and she's kind of always asking her, hey, what should I do here? What should I not do here? And I think Jamie just been doing a good job of just helping her out and just trusting her to kind of create plays herself, right?
Let's go ahead and break down tonight's opponent. You've had the opportunity to play Shawnee in the conference schedule.
Yeah.
You won. Matter of fact, I'm looking down here, 45-38. This is a team that they've been kind of a roller coaster ride, maybe not unlike you.
Right.
Certain nights you've looked like world beaters. There are other nights where you've come to me and said, I scratched my head for 4 quarters and I'm not sure who we were.
Right.
At this point, what's the scout on the Indians?
We can't let them pound it inside. That's the first thing we want to stop, make them play it from the outside. We want to make them shoot as many jump shots as we can, obviously contested. You can't give anybody in girls' high school basketball wide open three-pointers, or at some point they're going to start making them. But we just want to play hard. We want to play our defense. We want to pressure them like we did the first game. We want to cause turnovers, and we want to fly. We want to fly. Once we get those turnovers, let's turn them into points on the other end.
Now, you and I talked about it. Wilson, their freshman center, as a freshman, is averaging nearly 8 points and 7 boards per contest. Don't want to think about how many nightmares she's going to give conference coaches over the next 3 seasons. But it starts at the point. And again, another underclassman of the point guard, Gadsden. Doesn't have the glossiest numbers, but as you said, she's the straw that stirs the drink. And there are very few players in this conference that can give Buzz Rollins a run for her money as far as speed and agility. This is going to be best on best. So let me ask you, let's not start offensively, let's start defensively. How do you slow her down?
Well, just like you said, Jamie Rollins will have her to start. We have to match her speed, and there's no better way for us to do that with than Jamie Gardner. Nadia, have a look at her when Jamie's not in the game. We just want to match her speed. She pushes the ball well, gets the rest of the team. I'm watching Scout on her earlier this week, and I think they played Lima Central Catholic. I believe she probably had at least 6 or 7 assists that I was watching, just pushing the ball up the floor, getting the ball to the older people on the team that was good. They were getting up their shots and they were hitting their threes because she was just getting to them on time and on target.
Keys beyond, obviously, slowing Gadsden down for a Bulldog win tonight.
We got to rebound the basketball. We got to hold them to one shot. We did a good job of that last time we played them. Defensive-wise, we got to do our job. We got to be in the places that we're supposed to be, obviously playing in different kind of zones that we play in defense. We got to be in our responsibilities, and then we just got to help each other out. It's not going to go perfect, but how are we going to make it? We're going to make it right.
Look, you've already had 8 wins compared to just 2 last season.
Yeah.
You're a game within 500 in the conference.
Yeah.
One more cherry on the Sunday here, but what would a postseason win mean in your second year?
I think it would just show everybody. I think we believe inside this building, but it would show everybody, hey, we're trying to make a push and do something different here at Defiance. I think girls basketball is changing here. I can tell it's changing, obviously being in practice every day, but obviously I want our fans to fill these seats and come out and see these girls. They put in a lot of work, and I feel like they deserve to have our fans root for them.
All right, coaches, always appreciate the access you've given me to the team all season long.
No problem.
Best of luck to you, and let's talk about a win after the game.
Can't wait.
Coach, joining us, we're going to take a quick timeout. Our very ornery player profile is sophomore Nadia Leatherman. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Welcome back, DCTV Sports. It's been a little while since we've been at the Dog Pound, and as you can tell, it is girls basketball. As a matter of fact, it's the postseason, first round. Beautiful part is that no matter what your record, everybody gets at least one game. Everybody's 0-0 to start the second season. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. As the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is underway, we want to thank our sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Check out their selection of great new and used vehicles. They have a vehicle for everybody's budget. Doesn't make any difference what it is. Let them show you what they can do. You can also check out their selection online at drivebobestil.com. Our player profile. She's been dogging me for a while. Coach said he had to corral her about 10 minutes before practice, but now she's ready to go. Rolling her eyes, taking a deep breath. 5'6", sophomore Nadia Leatherman. Yeah. Are you ready for this?
I am.
We're going to believe her until she gives us reason not to. All right, so let me ask you this. If we went car shopping at Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, went out on the lot, and they said, Nadia, we want to give you a sweet ride. You're going to be a spokesperson for us. What would you be driving off the lot with?
I don't know cars.
She doesn't know cars. Coach would maybe make a selection for her. Probably a sleek Cadillac then, maybe an Escalade, Coach?
Yeah, that car.
That
Yeah.
car, absolutely. You know what she would have? She'd have a chauffeur, would be my guess, and she
Yeah.
would just let somebody drive her around.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to talk some basketball?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold the mic up so everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I am. Ready to talk
Fantastic.
basketball.
She's ready to talk basketball. All right, let's talk a little bit about the first part of the season.
Okay.
Last year, actually into this year. Let's go back a little bit farther. Underclassmen,
Mm-hmm.
prior to you getting basically pushed into the starting lineup with the injury to Samantha Hohenberger, what were you working on last year to become a better basketball player this season?
Really, I just worked off season a lot. I worked all year round to get to this spot.
Skill set, anything in
Yeah.
particular you were working on?
Ball handling. Coach said it was the main thing I needed to work on, and then shooting will come with it.
Okay. How do you feel you've improved in those areas?
I feel like I improved better. I've been handling pressure better, which that's just from playing a little bit more on varsity, but just working on my handle.
All right, so what's been the biggest difference? Obviously, size, speed. What's been the biggest difference moving up from freshman to the varsity level?
Definitely the pace of the game, the speed. It's a lot faster than it is on JV.
Was it a little intimidating? I want you to think back to the first time you set foot on the court as a varsity player. What was that like? Was the world moving a million miles a minute, or were you comfortable?
A little bit of both. I was like freaking out because I remember it was the first Napoleon game. Yeah, no, it was scary.
Yeah,
It
no.
was scary. It was
Okay.
scary.
Yeah, no. I kind of thought that might be the answer. Are you more comfortable now?
Yeah, I definitely
Has the
am.
game slowed down for you?
A
little bit.
Yeah, a little
She's
bit.
being
A
honest.
little
Now
bit.
we're getting some honesty out of her.
Right.
In all honesty, though, how much does it help having basically another player like Fuzz to handle a
Right.
lot of the point guard chores? Now, you can break a press. Coach has told me you have the green light to do it if you need to, but how much does it help having another strong guard in the backcourt with you?
It helps a lot, really, because I know there's someone else I can rely on to bring the ball up, so it just helps a lot, so I don't have a lot of pressure, really.
Has she been kind of a good mentor for you? Has she been helpful with like a good resource?
Yeah, she's my resource for real. I look up to her a lot. That's my friends. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about now versus the beginning of the season, because you got obviously pressed into the starting role with the injury to Samantha Hohenberger.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to see a teammate go down with injury to get an opportunity, but how has she been with regard to you taking that spot? Has she been pretty supportive as well?
Yes, she has. She says I'm doing a decent job, well, maybe not decent, but I don't know. But she said I'm doing good right now.
Okay,
for
so
having
good's
her
better
spot.
than
Yeah.
decent. Give yourself some credit here. What's the mindset of this team right now? I'm thinking back to last year. Obviously, this is the second season with Coach Lewis and company, and by their own admission, a lot of the players said we didn't know what to expect. It was different. It was actually hard. Now coming into this year, everybody knew what to expect. Now you're getting bumped up from the freshman to the varsity, but what was that transition like, especially now that you know what the coaching staff expects out of you?
Well, I knew that dude for a while, so I kind of knew what to expect for real. The yelling, the criticism. Other than that, nothing really. I was just ready to play.
Ready to play.
Yeah.
Where would you say you've made your most improvement? I asked you from last summer into this year. How about the start of the season till now? Where would you say you've improved the most? She needs a second opinion. Coach, want to yell that answer for her? Is it shoot? How about I'm going to ask you this, because Coach said you can score in a lot of different ways. You're not just a shooter.
Yeah.
He said you've got handles. You can get into the lane. He said maybe next to Bella, you're the best three-point shooter on the team right now. Do you have a favorite shot or a favorite spot on the court?
I'm kind of like in the mid-range. Mid-range, yeah, mid-range.
Mid-range,
sure.
what, like drive, stop and pop, Jay, or catch and shoot maybe 15 to 17 feet out?
Yeah.
Or doesn't matter to you?
Like deep twos, catch and shoot for real. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now this team has done a tremendous job from last year to this year. The varsity only had 2 wins last season. You've got 8 this year. You're 1 game below 500 in the conference. Where's this team's mindset? Because now all of that gets pushed aside. Everybody is 0-0 to start the playoffs. Where's this team's head at right now?
Anyways.
Coach is giving instruction to some of her teammates who might be
Sorry,
dogging her from
guys.
behind. But where's this team? What's this team's attitude going into the playoffs?
Well, I feel like the attitude's good because we all want to win this first game because it's been a while for us to actually win a game and go on. But I feel like we all want to win, so we're all determined, and we're trying to focus as much as we can in practice. So
Does it help that you've seen Shawnee before, that you beat Shawnee during the regular season?
yeah, but I don't want to go into the game thinking that we already won because anything could really happen. It's a winnable game for sure, though.
One game at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your plans? You going to play AAU ball in the summer? What do you have? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, I'm looking to play AAU with Fuzz. So, we're going to be on the court together.
You two are going to be dangerous together. I've been told you already are. Can't imagine what it's going to be like next year. We'll stick around. We won't get there just yet. Best of luck to you tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Nadia Leatherman, our player profile. We're going to take a quick time out. We are back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at the Dog Pound. The clock continues to tick away, just over 2 minutes before we tip this one off, as it is a sectional opener. The postseason has arrived as the Defiance Bulldogs at 8-14 overall, 4-5 in the Western Buckeye League, taking on conference rival Shawnee. The Indians at 8-14, 2-7. Time now for your keys to the game. Brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or call 419-267-1320 today. Let's go ahead and take a look for the visitors. The Shawnee Indians, led by head coach Aaron Patterson. Again, when she's hungry, feed her. Cadence Wilson is just a freshman. She stands in at 6 foot. And how about this? 8 points, 7 boards per ball game. She is going to give conference coaches and opponents nightmares for the next 3 seasons. But, Coach, right now, she's the center for the opposition, and they're going to have to keep her in check.
It's going to be a tall task. And Defiance has to do a couple different things. One, they have to collapse on her when they get her, maybe even double team her, make her kick it, don't let her go one-on-one. And if they're able to do that, I think they got a good shot at winning this.
Number 2, one and done. It's pretty simple. You cannot give Defiance second or third chance opportunities. As the ball's being put in the racks, the colors unfurled. Let's take a quick look at the keys for head coach Leroy Lewis in his second season at the helm for the Bulldogs. Keep Gadsden in first gear. We talked about Ava Gadsden. She is their lightning-quick point guard. Again, she's 5'5", also just a freshman. This is such a young Indians team, but she's the straw that stirs the drink. And how about this? Jamie Fuzz Rollins going to draw her in man-to-man defense. Best on best. And then number 2, the ball can't stick. Getting into the half-court offense, they've got to move it. Right now, we've got the national anthem brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. And the national anthem, courtesy of our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with resources available to them. To learn more about or request more information, log on to defiance-county.com/Veterans Office. Or you can give them a call at 419-782-6861. Time now for the starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. First for the hosts, the Bulldogs. There you take a look at the Defiance squad at 8-14 overall, 4-5 in the Western Buckeye League. Fuzz Rollins, the young sophomore, will get the starting nod at point. Nadia Leatherman, our sophomore off guard. She was our player profile. Bella Rollison, by clearly, far and away, the best three-point shooter on this roster. Izzy Ramirez, we call her the junkyard dog. She's listed at 5, I think, is it 6? No way, folks. Absolutely not. By her own admission, she's about 5'2", maybe 5'3". But, Coach, how many times have you heard the phrase, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog. And then in the middle, her charge against the stud freshman center Cadence Wilson will be Alexandra Fernandez. On the flip side, for the Indians of Shawnee, there may be a change. I was waiting for the book. It wasn't in by the time I came back up. This is what we believe the starting 5 are going to be. And again, the freshman point guard, Ava Gadsden. Gadsden does a little bit of everything. 6 points. She also averages 3 rebounds and dishes out a couple of assists per ball game. Cam Morris, again, at the off guard. Morgan Betts, again, 5 points and 3.5 boards per contest. We expect Bryn Patterson to be starting at forward. Again, Patterson averaging just a couple of points and a couple of boards. And then in the middle, feed the beast when she's hungry. Cadence Wilson. She is just a handful down low. She's averaging nearly 7 points and just under 7 rebounds per contest. And those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. It was a low-scoring contest the first time these two teams met in the regular season. Coach, again, Defiance walked away with a 45-38 win on this court. But let's go ahead and break it down. I'm looking at the month of January. We can go all the way back to late November, but I think the last 30 days is probably the best example of how these teams are playing now, finishing strong, if you want to use that phrase. The Bulldogs, no secret, they've been somewhat offensively challenged this year, especially with the loss of Samantha Hohenberger. They average 38 points per game. They've been giving up about 47. But on the flip side, Shawnee has been averaging 41 points and giving up 47. So one team's strength might look maybe a little bit like the other team's weakness, but here is one that really stood out to me, Coach. The Indians, with that young team, and maybe getting ahead of themselves a little bit, are averaging nearly 21 turnovers a ball game. You figure if the opposition connects on even half of that, that is a sizable lead before you even tip the ball game off.
Great point, Brent. And it's tournament time. Every possession counts out there. And Defiance has to, 1, create the turnovers, and then 2, once they create them, then they have to capitalize on them. And that could definitely be, the difference in the game. And whenever you're playing young kids, you got to do stuff to bug them, get in their face. But, there's different types of man-to-man, different types of zones, but get in their face and just be in their crawl, so they say. Try to create those turnovers. I think some good things can happen for Defiance.
Again, 2 individual matchups that we are going to be keeping an eye on. That's number 33, the center for Defiance, Alexandria Fernandez, against number 34, the freshman center, Cadence Wilson, for Shawnee. And you're seeing Wilson. My goodness, does that look like a freshman standing in the center circle right now?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, my goodness. You talk about passing the eye test. She gets off the bus, and you think that's got to be a senior. Where's she playing her college ball? Rollison will be in the center circle for the jump for Defiance. The other matchup, number 12 for Defiance, point guard Jamie Rollins versus number 30, Ava Gadsden. As the Indians win the tip, we're underway.
Looks like Defiance is starting off in a 1-3-1 defense tonight.
Interesting. And look who's on the bottom of it. All 5'3" of Eliza Ramirez. She comes out, though, to help trap, and that's going to force a turnover.
Great start for Defiance. The ball got in the corner. They were able to collapse and trap it right away. Created the turnover. That's what you need.
So Defiance's first opportunity offensively.
Looks like Shawnee's on playing man-to-man. Good feed inside.
One and done. So
Fernandez had a good look at it.
Yep. Long three, far corner, and rattled home by Morgan Betts.
I think her foot was on the line.
They're going to give her a long two.
Yeah, long two.
They are going to give her a long two. So we'll have to wait to give our sponsor, Premier Bank, the extra props that we normally would. And there's a turnover, first of the evening for Defiance. So both teams with a turnover in each of their first two possessions, or first three, in this case for Shawnee. Boy, look at that mismatch. Leatherman got down, though, and got right in the jersey of Wilson.
And that's where you have to be with that, too.
Well, this 1-3-1, there was a time when it was considered a junk defense, Coach, but you're seeing more and more of it now as the nuances of it come into play. As a nice turnaround, Jay, unable to hit from the elbow, though, by Wilson, and that's a good one and done by Fernandez.
Good rebound. Yeah, you're exactly right. And there's there's different philosophies with the 1-3-1, and usually you do it to take away the outside, but a lot of people are doing it actually to help with a big girl because you can collapse on her.
Fernandez, tough drive. Gets her own board, tries to muscle up. Wilson sends it out of bounds, and she knocks it off of Fernandez. This is going to be a matchup that is going to be fun to watch tonight.
You know, she's had two good looks the last time down. She just got to finish.
Coming out in some pressure. They'll break it. Gadsden across the timeline. Look at this, little water bug. That's what we were talking about, the straw that stirs the drink, and she'll get to the free throw line as this foul, I believe, is going to go against, is it Fernandez or Ramirez? It'll be Fernandez.
Yeah, Defiance has got to, they're in that press. They have to slow her down a little bit. They cannot let her get to the middle and drive to the middle. That's exactly what she did.
First is up, first is long, as Gadsden at the charity stripe. Not the greatest free throw shooter at 54%. Normally you want your point guards to be your best free throw shooters. They've got the ball in their hands, especially in crunch time. She hits one of two, and it's an early 3-0 lead. Rollins stops. Rollison, she's going to be face guarded, I think, pretty much wherever she goes tonight.
Yeah, they're going to put a hand in her face, that's for sure. Shawnee's in a man-to-man.
Kind of soft. They screen to get Rollison open. She gets an excellent look.
Good look.
Just off the heel of the iron.
Good look.
And it's one and done.
Defiance needs a stop here. They're staying in their 1-3-1.
Well, that 1-3-1, not just to help out maybe an undersized post down low, but what it also does, Coach, it extends the free throw line. You can't get that 15 to 17 footer cleanly. And that's how you break it down. What a move. What a dish by Gadsden.
Yeah, they tacked. She went front side and she dished to the back side for a wide open two. Defiance has to rotate down on that.
Patterson moved well without the basketball, and look at this. Shawnee has come out, kind of punched Defiance right in the nose in the early going here. A quick 5-0 lead. There's another turnover. Nice job by Rollins to get back defensively. And Morris was in no rush.
Defiance needs to stop right here. If not, you might see a timeout.
Gadsden stops and drains the 18-footer. And, timeout being called by Coach Lewis. It's a 7-0 run for the Indians, and Defiance needs a 30-second breather to catch their breath. We're going to keep it here since it's, wait a minute, now being signaled a full timeout, so we'll break with them. Back with after this Mark Moats Ford timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the dog pound, there you take a good look at the visitors' huddle. Head coach Aaron Patterson and the Shawnee Indians have come out of the gates relatively quickly here, and they have just punched host Defiance right in the mouth. 7-0 our score after the 18-footer by point guard Ava Gadsden. Bulldogs coach Leroy Lewis trying to calm his team down. There you see. Look, it's early. We're not even halfway through the first quarter, but the last thing you want is a mountain to be made out of a molehill.
Yeah, definitely. Defiance has got to be a little bit more patient on offense. Try to get a good shot, and then they got to get back on defense, and they definitely got to slow Shawnee down. Their offense is attacking really well.
Speaking of attacking, Rollins, nice drive, nice ditch. Rollison finally at the 4:41 mark. The Bulldogs on the board.
The key to that was Defiance's penetration.
Yep.
Shawnee collapsed, and they were able to kick it.
Getting back still. Are they switched to a 2-3 zone here?
Yep.
Nice job, Wilson down low. Misses the bunny, and Fernandez for the second time makes it one and done.
Good rebound by Defiance. Yeah, they went to a 2-3 just to change things up.
Rollins out near half court, working against Gadsden. This is quick on quick. She's going to launch a long three and doesn't catch anything. Leatherman, though, on the weak side. Nice hustle.
Great offensive rebound. Great awareness, seeing that it was going to be short.
Crossover and trying to split a double team. Take your pick as Rollins hits the deck. And the foul's going to be charged to Wilson, her first.
That's good for Defiance. Keep on attacking her. Maybe get her in foul trouble. She's out there awfully far.
Yep. She's hedging quite a bit. And now she backs down underneath the arc as Rollins brings it across the timeline. Gadsden on her. Nice screen by Ramirez.
Yeah, they got to slip that hedge is what they got to do.
Rollison, nice drive and attack. Boy, it is physical. Lots of bumping, and this one's going to be the third turnover of the first quarter for the Bulldogs. And there's where, again, it's not just enough to drive until you meet resistance, Coach. You've got to be thinking one step ahead. Yeah. I'm going, and if somebody rotates and cuts me off, I need to know what I'm going to do before that happens.
Yeah, definitely. And those are things that you work on practice, and those things that you go against in practice to be able to read the defense and be able to take advantage of it.
Wilson with a pump fake. Rollison, nice recovery, and that one just teases off the front of the iron. Nice offensive board, though, by Patterson, and they'll reset. Not for long as a three. Bricks off the backboard. Leatherman couldn't quite out-track Gadsden. Well, you're just seeing a lot of water bugs for guards on the court tonight. Wilson stepped back, and finally Rollison with a strong one-handed board.
We can't give Shawnee 3 shots on each possession.
Still only one basket so far as Rollins drives, and was that a pass or was that ball stripped and out of bounds off of her? I couldn't quite tell.
I think she tried to kick it to her. I mean, she was open, but she needs to do a better job of getting it to her.
So here we go again, still a 5-point lead.
Defiance is back in the 1-3-1.
Yep. Betts playing a little catch with Morris in between the circles. Well, Gadsden is so quick. Back out up top. Whoops, a little bit of a hip check, and Rollins can't hide that one about 15 feet out.
Yeah, that's tough. She's moving, and the offensive person went into her, and she picks up the foul, but they're in position. It's like Chloe Seiler just checked into the game.
Yep. Chloe Seiler, great all-around athlete. Great success with the volleyball team this season.
A little side note, coached her dad in high school, and he became one of my assistant coaches in my first head coaching job.
Means you've been around a while, buddy.
Okay, yep. No, cat's out of the bag.
I was going to say experienced. We didn't say old. We said experienced.
There you go. Wisdom.
Yes. Nice drive by Jamie Rollins.
Good take. There we go.
Yeah, she saves us.
Defiance needs to do more of that. When they do that, good things happen.
I'm looking at, again, how low they're dropping the second here. This is an amoeba defense right now, Coach. It just kind of oozes depending on where the ball is in its rotation. You've got to make sure that you are moving with the rest of your teammates for this to be effective.
Yeah, and they always have somebody on Wilson, without a doubt. There is a body on her. Now she's got 2 people around her.
Boy, she just muscled Seiler out of the way. Oh, my goodness.
Good take by the freshman.
Her first points, it's back up to a 5-point Shawnee lead. Rollins, who I thought has been very effective on the drive, but right now being forced east-west.
She definitely needs to keep driving.
That is a long shot, and not sure it's one that Coach Lewis wanted. And coming up the back end, Seiler runs right up Gadsden, and that will be her first foul.
Yeah, Jamie needs to get her feet set. I mean, it wasn't a bad shot, but it seems like she was facing one way and shooting the other way. But she's best when she drives. Good thing.
I was going to say her handles are clearly her strength.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
So we're going to have a substitution. Fernandez checks in for Seiler. We got, well, who's coming on, who's coming off here for Shawnee? Looks like checking out will be Morris. Checking in will be Patterson.
And Miss Rollins has got good vision, too. I think that's a big part of her game that they need to use.
Anna Menke, number 12, is also checked into the ball game for the Indians. Been stuck on 9-4 for a while now. Spotting up just beyond the free throw line. Banked back. Leatherman taps it to herself. Boy, they're getting physical, and Gadsden strips her. And look at that. Leatherman coming right back, and was she fouled?
I will say that the referees are letting them play.
They are. You know what, though? If that's the case, and most players will tell you they want that to be the case, then you've got to come help out your teammate when it's clear they're triple teamed.
Yeah, without a doubt. Great point. Yeah, I definitely would love to play in a game like this other than a ticky-tack game. Because then you just get nervous. Yep. You just don't be yourself.
Rollins, step back three. Got it! Oh, they're going to say her foot was on the line. A long two. Just the same, it breaks the drought. A long one for both teams. And it pulls the Bulldogs back to within 3. Under a minute left to go. Rollins, nice anticipation. Nice secondary break to Rollison, and she finishes the fun with the left hand.
Great assist. Great hands-on defense first. Drove it. Nice pass.
And it looks like Shawnee, will they take the air out of the ball here? Are they going to work for their first good look? Kicking it back out with 27. Menke with a long three. Halfway down, it rips out. Nice bounce pass across the lane, but Ramirez is there. Menke tosses up a prayer. Unanswered. 15-6 left, but they got to hustle. Rollins. A little nonchalant across half court. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. I don't think she's aware of it. 5 seconds. They've got to get moving. Now she's picked up the ball, and they're going to have to throw up a prayer. Fernandez on the drive. Was she fouled? Yes! Just before the buzzer sounded.
Boy, they used every second of that. Good drive.
Somehow, if we ask Coach Lewis, I don't think that's what he would say, just how we drew it up.
No, that's not how it was drawn up. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Foul is going to go against Sydney Burris.
Good opportunity, though, for the Bulldogs to take the lead here.
Absolutely. Fernandez, the loneliest place in this gymnasium right now is at the charity stripe. Nobody else on the court with her. She eyes it and gets the friendly roll.
Bulldogs have fought back here the second half of the first quarter.
Down as much as 7-0, and look at that.
Take the lead.
The end of the first quarter, it's a 1-point advantage for the hosts, 10-9. We're going to take a Mark Motes Ford timeout, serving the Defiance community since 1916. Located on County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. Back with the second 8 minutes right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. Defiance 10, Shawnee 9 after trailing 7-0. The Bulldogs squeaking by with a 1-point lead at the end of the first quarter. It is the opening round of the sectional playoffs. Bounce pass down low. And Eliza Ramirez. Call her the alley cat for a reason. You see the way she pawed that basketball? You weren't going to get it away from her. Now, it is a jump ball, but nobody was going to take possession of that from her.
What I liked was a nice pick and roll, and then Fernandez found her just a second too late. They just need to continue to do that.
Oh, nice down low, high low, and a foul. Fernandez, she asks for none and she gives none as she sends Cam Morris to the floor. Cam Morris trying to make sure everything is still attached where it needs to be as she'll head to the free throw line.
Defiance has got to get a little bit deeper in that zone. That was way too easy. Too many open bodies on the low block.
Morris' first free throw splits the nylon. Cam Morris, a decent free throw shooter at 67%. That was her first point of the night. She's looking for 2, and she gives the Indians the lead back at 11-10. Rollins splits a double team, keeps going. Leatherman, wow! You could hear the thud all the way up here on the mezzanine level, and listen to the crowd react as Cadence Wilson just gives Nadia Leatherman a facial.
And that went 4 rows up. A fan had to go to the 4th row to get that ball. You don't see that too often in high school girls basketball. Or for that matter, boys basketball.
Period.
Exactly.
Wow, Rollins with a heat check and drains a 23-footer.
Wow, that's a big shot. A big-time shot there.
A Premier Bank 3. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options. YourPremierBank.com. And do we have a changing call here, or no, we do not? Okay.
Wow, that was definitely off Shawnee's foot. But sometimes that happens.
Wilson in a triple team. Did she walk? Yes, she did.
There we go. There we go.
But what's that tell you? What's that tell you about how strong she is, though? 3 white jerseys surrounded her. She's still got the shot off.
Yeah. She has a lot of talent for a freshman. She's got a bright future ahead of her.
Look at that. Rollins sizing her up, using her quickness. Oh, nifty move to split the double team.
That's when the Bulldogs are at their best right there.
That's where Rollins is at her best.
Yep.
On the drive. 15-11, largest lead for the Bulldogs. Almost turning it over, and Ramirez with a little bit of a love tap on Gadsden, pushing her out of bounds. That's Eliza's first.
There wasn't much of a tap there, but what do they call that in the NBA? A flop? Is that what they call that?
Morris will inbounds. She's flirting with 5. They get it in. Gadsden out near half court. And Defiance is now in a 2-3 zone. Switching out of that 1-3-1. They've shown a little man tonight as well.
They got a body on Wilson no matter where she goes.
Need to.
They got to sink.
Gadsden on the drive. Nice dish. Morris, Gadsden. That's just quick ball movement. And Rollison, I don't want to say she was late, but from the waist down she was set. From the waist up she was still kind of getting in position, and she's guilty of the foul.
You know, and that wasn't a bad foul because she was so close to the basket, she's probably going to make it anyways. And I think she has a little trouble at the foul line, so it wasn't a bad foul, even though she made her first one.
Wilson, oh, you got to be kidding me. That's just her 3rd free throw of the season?
Oh, that can't be right.
Our stats, well, if they are accurate, that's her first miss. But my goodness, there's no way.
A girl like
there's
that,
no way.
Yeah, she's going to be getting fouled a lot.
So 15-12. Rollins moving east-west, but she splits a double team. Leatherman into the paint. Ramirez. That was a little hot for being as close as they were.
Great idea. Great look. Yeah, just take a little bit off of it. A little too much mustard there. Fine staying in their 2-3. They're packing it in on Wilson.
On the drive, Gadsden fades away, and it comes splashing straight down through the cylinder.
Wow, Defiance came over and cut her off well. Great body awareness. Threw it up and went away. Wow.
And again, we talked about Gadsden being the straw that stirs the drink. She is every bit as advertised, and she reaches in and fouls Rollins here.
Shawnee's got a bright future ahead of themselves with those 2 freshmen.
Oh, my goodness. This is a young team in general. And Betts will be back next year. She's a junior. Let's see who else. We got Brim Patterson, just a junior, sees quite a few minutes. And we got a whistle here. And what's the call? It's just a foul before the inbound.
Offensive foul, moving block. Yeah. You just can't lean. You just got to get set.
That's going against Chloe Seiler. That'll be your second. So a chance for Shawnee to take the lead this trip down the court. Checking into the ball game, Maya Williams. Williams, a 5'3" freshman. High blocks Patterson, quickly back out. Boy, and is that going to be 3 seconds? Camped out just a little long. Still doesn't negate what I was going to say there, Coach. Notice how the ball isn't sticking with Shawnee. Super crisp passing.
Yeah, definitely. And they're trying to penetrate, and they're looking for the big girl. You can see it every time. Their eyes go right to her.
Rollins will slow it down. She has scored all 5 of Defiance's points here in the second quarter, and she's on the move again. Oh, look at that body control. It just teases off the edge. Look at that hustle by Ramirez, but she can't save it.
Yeah, great run to the basket there.
Williams, an over-the-back pass. What a move! That's the equivalent of cutting your meat at dinner for you. Wilson didn't have to do anything but lay it in.
That's a nice play by Shawnee. Good court awareness. Good passing.
And the Indians retake the lead by 1. Rollins stops and pops from the free throw line. Barely catches iron. Seiler with the board. Too strong. Speaking of strong, Wilson rips this one down.
This is big possession here. There we go.
Ooh, unforced. And there's a little too much freshman in the freshman.
Yeah. That's what Defiance needed. Slow it down a little bit. Let's get something set up.
That is the 5th turnover of the ball game for the Indians, as Williams will take a seat on the bench. Gadsden got a quick breather. Well, it was a fairly low-scoring ball game in the regular season meeting between these two teams, 45-38. And right now, maybe on pace for a little less offense than the original meeting.
That's true. I mean, both teams are going at it, though. Both teams are playing hard.
Rollison thought about it. Fernandez pops out. Oh, look at that. Pump fake, and the pass was there, but it was at the feet of Ramirez, and on the floor. Nifty job to lay out for Patterson and then call the timeout. 30-second variety, so we will keep it here with 3:57 left to go in the first half.
You know, Defiance is doing a really nice job of making that extra pass. The girls just got to be ready for it. They got to have their hands ready to be able to get that pass and go up and shoot. But I think they're doing a great job of passing the ball.
Right now, Defiance has been outscored in the second quarter, 7-5. As a matter of fact, only one Bulldog has scored here in the second quarter, and that's Jamie Rollins. A low-scoring, defensive-oriented ball game right now as the Indians lead by 1.
She needs to keep doing what she's doing, though. She needs to keep driving. And the girls, again, they need to be ready for the dish for her. Have their hands ready, like I just mentioned, because they're collapsing on her hard. Looks like Defiance is going to come out in half court 2-3 here.
Really bringing the top half of that 2-3 up.
Which really surprises me here.
Right now you got Seiler trying to body up, and whoops, they anticipated Wilson posting up, and she slid, and that pass went right to Seiler.
Yeah, definitely some miscommunication there on Shawnee's part.
Long 3 by Rollins. Battle for the board. It's out of bounds. It will be Indians ball. Look, I know when you're feeling it, you think you can score from anywhere, but I know Leroy Lewis will say this. That shot will be there later on in the offense as well.
It will be, yeah. If she continues to penetrate, it's going to be wide open.
Popping out on the wing, Betts. And we got another substitution. The Keller checking in for the Bulldogs. So Coach Lewis has gone fairly deep to his bench here tonight.
He has. They've really extended their defense, too.
The top half of this zone is almost playing like a man.
Yeah.
Wilson, low blocks. Boy, Seiler rotates over. Got a piece of it.
That was all ball. That was a great job.
Johnny on the spot. Patterson kicks, and a 3. Nothing but net for Morgan Betts. That's a Premier Bank 3, and it's a 4-point Indians lead at 19-15.
Important possession here, Defiance. See if they can get a score.
Rollins on the drive. Now, the other 4 jerseys in white right now are just a little stagnant. And now as we say that, nice aggressive move by Ramirez, and she just didn't get the roll.
Great take, good look.
Back out up top, long three, short. Rollison pulls down the board off the Morris miss.
I think Defiance needs to go before Shawnee gets set up and see what they can create on a fast break.
Again, I think they've quick shot themselves out of probably the last 2 or 3 possessions here. I'd like to see better ball movement, some more cutting without the ball.
Exactly.
Make Shawnee play some defense, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, movement without the ball I think is key.
Rollins thinking about it, little shake and bake. Drives into a triple team, and they bailed her out.
Yeah, I think that was a great point, Brian. Defiance needs to be patient. They need to move the ball. They need to move without the ball. And when they do get penetration, Shawnee is collapsing so hard. There are people wide open, and we always called that relocate. Relocate to the open position, hit them, and you're going to get a wide open shot.
Well, that is Wilson's second foul, so she'll take a seat with a $1.55. They ran a beauty of an inbounds. Fernandez couldn't field it cleanly. First no, second no. Fernandez again. Who's this one on? Take your pick. Is it Betts?
Here's what I know. Cadence Wilson is not in the game now.
No.
Defiance has to take advantage of that. They got to go inside because right now Shawnee, they're small right now. They might be quick, but they're small. Let's see if the Defiance can take advantage of that.
Fernandez now 3 for 3 from the charity stripe, and that breaks a long drought for the Bulldogs here in the second quarter. Pulls them back to within 3, trying to cut the deficit to 2 here. We'll see if they press if she makes this.
It's a good point.
First things first. Ooh, way short.
2-3 for Defiance
Yep.
here.
Well, the top half of it are Leatherman and Rollins. A lot of movement again. Quick ball movement. Quick movement without the ball. Indians doing a very good job of running their zone offense.
Yeah, I don't think they're in a hurry here for a shot.
Right now, you've got a 3-point lead on the road. You betcha. Don't need to hurry.
Yeah, they're being patient. Good ball movement.
And that thrown away, and that's all because Jamie Rollins came out and got in the jersey of Morris.
Good job by Defiance. Great job on the ball pressure, and that's what they needed, forced to turn over. Now they need to take advantage of it. Plenty of time and get a couple possessions here.
Depending on how fast they work. Again, normally you'd say 2 for 1, but of course no shot clock in the high school game. Rollins, boy, I thought she was going to pull the trigger there.
She thought about it.
Ramirez, and I think that's going to be a reach-in foul on Menke.
Yep.
Menke's first.
Miss Ramirez, her strength right there was able for her to get that foul because there's no way she was going to let the Shawnee defender get that ball.
Ramirez looking for her first points of the evening. Deep knee bend. Releases, in and out.
Here's a little lid right now on Defiance's basket. We got to open that thing up for him.
Look at this. Well, $1.03 left to go in the first half, and Rollins comes out. Keller in. Ramirez trying to connect on her second. And again, in and out.
Yeah, there's a lid.
Those smart. So the lead remains 19-16. Gadsden playing a little catch with Betts on the left wing. Okay, going into the high blocks, even with Wilson out. Menke kicks it out. This is a long 3. Airmailed right into the hands of Rollison. All right, so with Rollins out, Leatherman running the point now. Doing a good job of keeping her dribble. Oh, and then throws it away. She telegraphed that, and Gadsden's got it.
Yeah, she was waiting on that.
On the wing, Betts. Did she drag her pivot foot? Yes, she did. That's the fifth Indians turnover of the quarter. That makes 8 on the game, and Rollins will check back in.
Defiance got to take advantage of these turnovers.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's huge.
Well, they've got 7 of their own. Shawnee's got 8, but Shawnee has turned more into points office turnovers. As Rollins leans in, and
there we go.
Call it on Gadsden. Back to the line. Although it's been anything but charitable, as the Bulldogs just 1 of 4 from the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Hopefully we can change that here.
Rollins, first attempt, first trip to the free throw line tonight. It's got a little bit of an unorthodox stance. This one barely catches iron. Her lead foot is toeing the line. Her left leg is probably about a foot and a half behind her.
Yep, and it's facing off to the left, which is that's not a normal fundamental that you look for.
Spins the ball in her hands. Second is on the way. She makes good on one of two.
Okay.
And they will not press. They'll get back and play half-court D, trailing by a basket. 6 seconds. Well, Menke thought about a three. Defense has been strong here for Defiance. Will they get a shot off? They will, but it will not fall. So from a 1-point lead at the end of the first quarter, Defiance heads to the locker room at the intermission, down by 2. Shawnee 19, Defiance 17. We'll take a quick Mark Moats Ford timeout. When we come back, we'll have the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at the Dog Pound, we have reached the intermission. It's time for the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. Also check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Brent Balbinot alongside the coach Chris Dales. We have reached the half in a very defensive-oriented, low-scoring ball game, and it shouldn't surprise anyone one bit. No. The first meeting between these two teams back in the WBL regular season. Defiance won on this court, 45-38. The way this one's playing out, Coach, I'm thinking first one to 40 is probably the winner here tonight. We'll wait and see. Maybe both teams have an explosion offensively that they just haven't shown us yet, but your take on the first 16 minutes.
I see two teams that are very evenly matched. I see one team with 7 turnovers, Defiance. Shawnee has 8. I see the score, 2-point difference. I see foul shooting, Defiance 4 for 8, Shawnee 4 for 6. Both teams are playing hard. I think the Defiance needs to have a little bit more patience. You brought that up in our break. You know, offensively, get a better shot off. I think they're limiting Shawnee to, for the most time, one shot. There was one or two possessions where they got 2 or 3. But both teams are playing hard. They just got to capitalize. They've gotten good shots down low. They just got to convert and just keep doing what they're doing. But I think the key thing is just having more patience offensively.
Let's go ahead and break down the unofficial scoring totals, but we believe we're right here. Leading all players, Jamie Rollins, the junior point guard for Defiance, already in double figures with 10. Took a couple of long shots early trying to get the run going for her team. Isabella Rollison got the start early. As a matter of fact, she scored the first points of the ball game for the Bulldogs, and they didn't come till the 4:41 mark of the first quarter. She nailed one quickly after that, but the second leading scorer on this team shut out in the second quarter, and you and I were talking about it during the break. Defiance has got to figure out a way to, at the very least, get her more touches to get her more involved in the second half.
You're 100% correct, and I think it's got to come off the ball. I think they got to set some picks, maybe even a double pick, an elevator screen, whatever. They got to find some way to get her open. She's got a great-looking shot. Let her catch the ball, let her spot up, and let her shoot. But that's a fun thing about coaching. Try to create some plays for your players where they can be successful and use their talent, and that's what Defiance needs to do.
So Rollins with 4, Rollins with 10, Rollison with 4. The only other Bulldog in the scoring column is Alexandria Fernandez, their center. She's 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. She's the only one that has shot better than 50% from the charity stripe. As a matter of fact, it's been anything but charitable for the Bulldogs. In that second quarter, just 2 of 6 from the free throw line.
And she's had some really good looks, down low too. And if she can just finish, the Bulldogs would be even or up by 2 or 4. She's getting good looks. I like her going hard, but Defiance has got to get a little bit more balance offensively.
Speaking of balance, you beat me to it. That's exactly what Shawnee has. All 5 starters in the scoring books. Ava Gadsden, their freshman point guard, is lightning in a hot skillet. She's got 5 points. Morgan Betts draining 1 from beyond the arc late in the second quarter to go along with 1 from the field in the first quarter. She's got 5. And then Cadence Wilson, who sat down, proper English, I'm next to an educator, sat down with probably maybe a little over 2 minutes left to go in the half, still has 5. Then a deuce apiece for Bryn Patterson and Cameron Morris. No bench points for either teams. If you're the Indians, again, winning defensively, winning a low-scoring game, if I can even say it, winning ugly, doesn't matter. You don't get style points. No. Who was the beneficiary of the first half, or was it 6 of one, half dozen of the other?
Obviously the score goes to Shawnee, but here's what I like. Shawnee definitely has the advantage down in the paint, and I think Defiance is doing a really good job of, hey, you got one of the, probably as a freshman, one of the better players in the whole entire league, and they held her to 5 points.
Yep.
I really like how they're collapsing on her. I really like how they're closing out when the ball is kicked outside. If Coach Lewis said, hey, we hold him to 19 points and a half, I'm sure he's going to take it.
You bet.
We just got to get the ball to go into the hoop on the other end. So, both teams are playing well. Both teams are playing hard. They need to play a little bit better. But, they're doing some good things. We'll see what adjustments they made at halftime.
Both teams out for a quick shoot-around with 2:15 left to go before we resume play. We'll take a 60-minute break. That is your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, and as always online at midwestcommunity.org. 60-second timeout. Back with the start of the second half right after this on DCTV.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Less than a minute left before we resume play. Third quarter action getting set to start up here at the Dog Pound. Brent Balbinot alongside Chris Dales. It was snowing. It was extremely windy. It was just I don't want to say a gross wintry day, but for lack of a better term, it was a gross wintry day today. And I'm thinking that probably has an impact on the crowd here tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. And, I guess that, as a teacher, we get those snow days, and it was a good day on that, on that aspect. But, no, yeah, you're right. The weather's been just kind of bad the last couple of days, and I'm sure it did affect, especially the ice. It affects the older people, and, you don't want them to fall or anything like that. But I will give kudos to Defiance's crew here. I mean, the sidewalks were nice and clear.
Yes.
Parking lot was nice and clear, and that takes a lot of work, and I really do appreciate that.
Buzz of sounds, we get set for the start of the third quarter. Visiting Shawnee, a basket better than Defiance right now at 19-17. Looks like the same starting five that began the game. For Shawnee takes the court. Gadsden, Betts, Morris, Patterson, and Wilson.
We'll see what adjustments, if any, was made here at halftime, and hopefully Defiance offensively can get some things going. Defensively, I think they're right there.
Same starting five for the Bulldogs as well. Rollins, Leatherman, Rollison, Ramirez, and Fernandez. Defiance has the ball to open up the second half. Rollins picks up her dribble out near half court. Leatherman just a little tentative from her knees. Rollins, I thought she'd drive baseline there. She took a second or two to size it up. That may end up being the better play anyway. Yes. If it's on Wilson, that's her third.
Yeah, good decision. She saw the big girl out. Hey, drive on her. She got around her, got the foul. I think that's her third.
Yep.
And she's out.
Mark 7:39 in the third quarter down, barely into the second half. And the imposing Shawnee center with 5 points has got to take a seat with 3. Ball was kicked on the inbounds.
Now this is a great opportunity for Defiance to take advantage of this. And already, right away, they're looking to go inside on the out of bounds here.
Rollison will inbounds. And everybody getting a little stagnant as the original play didn't quite work.
There we go.
Fernandez down low, and that's just too much of an ask for Alexis Whitstone to cover. And Whetstone just picks up her first.
Defiance realized they have the advantage now, and they're taking advantage, or trying to take advantage of it. That was a great feed, great take to the basket.
Fernandez is 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. That's where all of her points have come from. They just can't buy a bucket from the foul line tonight.
I hope it doesn't come down to that, but that's something we might have to look at here when we're getting closer to the fourth quarter.
Second is on the way, and my goodness, the woes continue from the charity stripe. Gadsden, she'll reverse it. Oh, look at this, Whetstone with a long three, long board kicks out.
Keep going.
Here comes Rollison, and she was nervous who was coming up her backside, and she lost control of the basketball.
Good idea. She's just got to be aggressive. She's just got to take it to the basket. She had it on her. Numbers were on her side.
I thought she had a couple of opportunities there, and she just was a bit tentative. Betts picks up her dribble. They go to the high blocks. Again, quick ball movement. And Gadsden drains a three.
Yeah, you can't leave her open like that. She was just too wide open.
That's
got to get a hand in her face.
Premier Bank three-pointer, yourpremierbank.com. She's now got 8, and it's up to a 5-point Shawnee lead. Rollins on the drive. Nice bounce pass to Ramirez. Give her 2.
There we go. That's when Defiance is at their best. Good vision.
Back to within 3. Quick shot. Ball tapped around. Look at this. Point center. Fernandez gets rid of it. Rollison keeps coming hard. Forces the decision. 3 black jerseys rotate over. Take your pick.
I love her aggressiveness. That time, she went to the basket, drew the foul. That's what I like to see.
Betts, the guilty party. Rollison to the stripe. She scored 2 quick baskets early in the first quarter, and she's been silent since. And she drains the free throw.
I like the pace Defiance is playing right now. Maybe they can keep it up and take advantage of this.
Concentration on the youngster's face as she delivers. Got them both.
Cut it to 1.
And they will come out and press. And Defiance about to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Shawnee.
Why not?
Whoops,
Oh,
a couple players
There we go.
collide, and that's going to be a turnover. Rollison on the drive. Can't get the teardrop to fall. That's where I thought she could have probably taken another dribble and made that about a 3-footer instead of a 5-footer.
Use that thing out there, too. Backboard.
Yep.
That might have helped.
Drive and dish, and that one deflected, knocked away. Back-to-back turnovers in as many possessions for Shawnee, and Defiance trying to retake the lead for the second straight trip down the court. They're going to lob it off the screen. Rollison stepped back. Her foot was on the line. Got a good look, but it wouldn't fall.
I'll take that. I like the screen. Like her setting herself. Just keep shooting it. It'll go.
Gadsden wants to take Rollins, but Fuzz is there to cut her off.
No,
good anticipation by Ramirez to step in front of it. That's the third turnover of this quarter. Defiance has had their opportunities. Rollins on the drive. Can't get the roll. Yeah, I'm going to say first 1 to 40 wins it, Coach.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting good looks. They just can't get them to go.
Ooh, hand checking. Rollins, that was probably what, about 26, 27 feet out?
Yeah,
Too far out. The official's going to call that every time.
I don't hope it doesn't become a ticky-tack game here. We haven't seen too much of that tonight. And there's been some physical play out there.
Yeah, the fouls have been earned tonight.
Yep.
Patterson out for Shawnee. And into inbound is Menke. Also on the court, number 22, Lauren Potts, seeing her first action of the night. Into the high post. Whetstone was cut off.
There we go.
And look at that. Leatherman with the steal. And she gives it away right back. Here comes Gadsden. Oh, nice bounce pass down low. That's just too easy. Those are the first bench points for either team tonight. Potts owns them. Now Defiance had what, 3-4 trips down the court?
Yep.
Now they're back down by 3. Rollins, they're going to clear out for her. She drives. Again, took that shot early, but look at Fernandez. Johnny on the spot, and she draws the contact.
That girl's got a lot of hustle. She's got a nose for the ball, too. She's got to put these in here. We've got to close that gap here.
Whetstone, the guilty party for Shawnee. It's her second. Fernandez back to the stripe. That's where all her scoring has come from tonight, although she has missed her last 2. Make it the last 3.
A little softer here. Deep breath.
Well, she was 3 for 4 in the first half, but right now, taking her time. You get 10 seconds. Again, a little low. She over-adjusted. So back defensively. Foot on the line. Long 20-footer, nothing doing, and Rollison taps it to herself.
Smart rebound.
Yep. Rollins. They're trying to get the court spaced. Does the junior want it? Oh, my goodness. Step back 3. Yes! Wow!
I think she wants to take control of the game here.
Oh, my goodness. About a 22-footer. That's another Premier Bank three-pointer, and we're tied at 24. And at the other end, long 3, nothing doing by Stump. And here we come back. Another chance for Defiance to take their first lead of the second half.
Good rebound by Ramirez. Limiting Shawnee to 1 shot.
Rollins.
Feeling it.
Uh-oh, she's going to take another heat check. A little long that time. And stolen away. Nice job. Fernandez rushed herself just a bit.
And she's a worker.
Yep.
She's a worker.
Gadsden at the other end, coast to coast. Nothing doing. Rollison has just been an absolute boarding machine here in the second half.
And for whatever reason, now we got a track meet going on here.
Rollison, she'll stop and pop. Around the world, it kicks out.
Good looking shot, in and out.
Gadsden crosses over. Nobody's picked her up. She gets deep into the paint. Count it, and one coming.
Great body awareness by her. Man, she saw Rollinson coming over. She took that extra step. Great body awareness.
That'll be Rollison's second. Leatherman will check out. Keller will check in for Defiance. A chance at a 3-point play for Ava Gadsden.
You don't see too many girls in high school, not only a freshman, able to go up in the air and change their body movement.
And this one in and out. Battle for the ball underneath. Do we have a jump ball? We do. It's going to stay with Shawnee. Up by 2 with 2:38 left to go, third quarter. Defiance won't put anybody on the inbounder. Let's see who they'll double team here. Gadsden's being drawn by Keller as this one's deflected out of bounds. It'll move over a couple feet. Now in the corner. Menke waiting for somebody to break open. They're going to go down low. Boy, nice up and under move, and ball out of bounds. Defiance takes possession.
He wasn't for sure how they're talking about it.
It's going to be reversed. They'll reverse the call. And now we have a timeout being called by Shawnee. Up by 2 with 2:31 left to go in the third quarter. Full timeout. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout with them as well. Serving the Defiance community since 1916. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmoatsford.com. Back after this on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
There you take a look at the Indians huddle. Up by 2 with 2:31 left to go in the third quarter. No sense of panic. Why should there be? They're playing at their pace. They have the lead on the road. On the flip side, pretty much a very similar looking demeanor for the Bulldogs as they break the huddle.
Yep.
Just a defensive, physical ball game tonight.
It's a great way to put it. That's exactly what it is tonight.
Morris to inbound. Potts, she's going to take a long three. It barely catches iron. And 5 white jerseys got caught standing around. They kick it out. Gadsden almost made them pay. And this time Ramirez pulls down a strong two-handed board.
See what Defiance can do here.
Rollins on the drive. Again, kept that ball a little high. Turns it over, and here comes Gadsden. She'll go up against Fernandez. Oh! High off the square, down through the cylinder. Wow.
Wow was right. Once again, just great body awareness by her.
Well, and again, if you're Fernandez, she was hustling back. That's your center. And that's probably the biggest mismatch you could get on a point guard. So the second question is, who's supposed to release defensively there for Defiance? And I guess I'd say, too, not to be dirty, but if you're Fernandez and you're going to foul, make sure she doesn't get the shot off.
You were reading my mind. That's exactly what I was going to say. You don't have to be dirty. You're exactly right. Just make a hard foul. Make her earn her points.
And all of a sudden, in a game where we may not get to 40, a 5-point advantage looks huge.
Sure does.
Under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Leatherman back in, wraparound pass. Rollison put it on the floor, and she's stripped.
I don't know. How is that not a foul? Looked like it went right across her arm.
It'll be the 4th of the quarter for the Bulldogs. They got to get back defensively. Fernandez right now is fronting the post. They're going to go back down low again. Baseline jumper is nothing but net. My goodness, that was just great ball movement, and Alexis Whetstone in the books. And Defiance, I don't want to say desperate for a basket this trip down the court, but they really need one.
No, they need one, yep.
Leatherman crosses over. Sophomore, I'm not sure if she got stripped or if that was a pass. We got a whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul. And who was it on? Is it Gadsden? It is. Yes. Gadsden with her second. But again, Chris, think about this. a 7-point lead
that's
without your starting center on the court. I mean, this was supposed to be the time that Defiance was going to make the move, right? Make the run.
Absolutely. You're exactly right.
Leatherman's first points of the ball game come at the 1:10 mark here in the third from the free throw line.
They have the advantage. They can focus, all their effort, into Gadsden, defensively. They can work the ball inside, push it outside. Yeah, they got to take advantage of it.
Leatherman drains both. Much needed.
I think she's going to sit for another minute 9.
Absolutely. Why bother? Don't risk it.
Right.
Here comes Williams across half court. Just 5'3", but, man, so quick. Defiance back in that 1-3-1. Bounce pass to the low blocks. How did that ball get through that trio on the free throw line?
Defiance has got to get in position a little bit better defensively to prevent that from even happening.
And another turnover.
Turnover by Shawnee.
Coming back the other way, and a timeout being called by Coach Lewis. 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. All right, you got 27.5 seconds left. You are down by 5. This, I don't want to call it a must-score situation, but certainly a crucial possession, Coach.
Yeah, what I would be doing right now is I'd be drawing up a play, either for Jamie Rollins, she's been hot, or get something going for, Isabella Rollinson. Have a set play where they can get set, get their feet, come off of a pick, double screen, whatever it may be, and let's try to get a 3-point here, get closer into this game, and hopefully that's what he's drawing up right now.
Buzzer sounds. Indians have broken the huddle. And now Defiance does likewise.
$27 seconds. Plenty of time
Absolutely.
to run a nice set play here. Shawnee staying in there man-to-man.
Look at this. The freshman Williams coming out to pick up Rollins at half court. Fuzz just kind of keeping her dribble, moving east-west. Rollison spots up, foot on the line. Crashing, and Ramirez couldn't secure it. Here comes Menke. Rollison gets back. Alters the shot. Ball being tapped around. 1 second left. 3 quarters in the books. And visiting Shawnee in command right now, leading 33-26. We've got 8 minutes left in one of these two teams' seasons. Stick around. Fourth quarter when we come back after this Mark Moats Ford timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Final 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. We welcome you back to the Dog Pound. It is the opening round of sectionals. Postseason is here, and one of these two teams will be advancing to next week. One will put the gear away for the rest of the season. And right now, Shawnee with the lead, 33-26, and 2 point-blank looks from both your point guard and your center, and nothing falling tonight for the Bulldogs.
That's an understatement. You got 8 minutes. You got to lay it all on the line right here.
And there's almost another turnover. Menke, though, Johnny on the spot, and that's just hustle. That's just hustle.
Yeah. Shawnee's making their bunnies. I mean, that's just what they're doing, and Defiance is struggling.
35-26. Lead back up to 9. Rollins for 3. Off the heel of the iron, and a long shot means a long board. Here comes Williams, coast to coast. Nobody really got back, and you can't afford to slink right now if you miss a shot, because this is going to be 2 free throws now for Shawnee.
Yeah, this is a drill you do every day in practice, just a simple transition drill. The shot goes up, someone's got to get back. The farthest person's got to get back. Defiance got a little lazy on that, and it cost them some foul shots here.
8 bench points for Shawnee right now. And, Coach, we talked about this, though, during the late in the third quarter. All of this, the lead being extended with your starting center, Cadence Wilson, sitting on the bench.
On the bench. I'm surprised, yeah.
She only played 21 seconds of that third quarter, and yet the Indians sparked the lead even more as Rollins finally takes it coast to coast. They're going to need more of that.
I like the tempo by Defiance. Easy basket.
Lead is 8. Ooh, look at this. Corner 3. That's a yes type of reaction by Coach Patterson.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. No. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That's 5 off the bench for Menke, and all of a sudden a 10-point Indians advantage. Keller.
Every possession counts here.
Letterman for 3. Got it!
There we go. Good ball movement.
A Premier Bank 3. First basket from the floor for the sophomore, and all of a sudden, the lead cut to 7.
Every possession here, so critical. Every possession.
Potts almost lost the basketball. Williams surrenders it. Menke on the drive baseline. That's good anticipation and deflection by Keller.
That's great rotation right there. Great anticipation, great defensive rotation right there.
Rollins trots it across the timeline. Kicks it into another gear. Spots up from about 17. Yes! She's starting to find her groove. Just like that, a 10-point deficit cut in half.
Yep.
Still got to play at this end, though.
Definitely.
Coming out to double team. Is this a 3? Yes, it is. And Potts showing absolutely no fear. A Premier Bank 3.
Well, there's your 40 points, a first to 40.
Rollins sizing up Williams. Oh, nice feed down low to Ramirez. Spots up. Give her 2 more.
There we go.
And a timeout being called. I believe it's
30.
Shawnee taking
Defiance.
it. Defiance takes it. 41-35. At what point, if you are Coach Patterson, do you put Cadence Wilson back in the ball game?
I don't know. I thought she'd be in by now. I thought she would start the fourth quarter, but I haven't seen her go to the scorer's table yet. I don't know. I mean, maybe he feels that they're doing well enough without her right now.
Well, the smaller lineup has been productive.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. Right now, he's got an ace up his sleeve. It's just a matter of when he wants to play it.
Yeah.
But right now, if you are Defiance, look, we normally say under 4 minutes is crunch time. I think right now, if you're Defiance, it's crunch time.
It is. And something that I noticed, they've gotten their quick baskets on the transition, getting the ball out and going, not waiting for Shawnee to set up. They got to pick up the speed. They got to continue to do that. That's going to give them more possessions, too.
Look who's checked into the ball game, number 34.
Yeah,
you see her. Nice zoom in there by our camera operator. Wilson with 3 fouls is back in. Ooh, Ramirez takes a shot to the face. Again, nothing dirty, but Betts was turning, trying to clear out. Rollins gambled but couldn't come away with it. Shawnee.
They're being patient here.
And as they should. Milk some clock. There's no need to rush it. Wilson feeling it, drives and throws it to nobody.
We'll take it.
Here comes Leatherman. Does she want to take it? Yes, she does. And guess who's waiting for her?
Yeah, it's a good decision.
Yep.
Good decision. Let's get a good shot here.
Almost every trip down the court is a must score. Heat check by Rollins. Didn't follow her shot. She could tell. I could tell by her body language, Coach, she knew that was short.
Yeah. You got to know that. Rushing. She could have got the offensive rebound right there.
So got to get back and play more D. And Shawnee just milking the clock right now. Wilson bounces it off of either Fernandez or Ramirez's knee.
You had to think about that one. I thought he was going to give it to the Bulldogs.
Do we have a timeout on the floor? Rollison was checking in. I see a 30-second timeout being signaled by one of the officials, so we will keep it here. Well, this game has been a chess match right now between both coaches, but two things stick out like sore thumbs. Number one, bench production for Shawnee. 2, 4, 6, 8 alone in the third quarter. Add 7 more already. Not quite the halfway mark here in the fourth quarter, and Shawnee's bench has been the difference. But, Coach, you also have to go to the charity stripe. And right now, 2, 4, 6, 7 missed free throws for Defiance. And guess what the difference of the score is right now? 6.
Yep. You hit on it, those two things. Shawnee's bench points and definitely, Defiance not be able to convert, from the charity stripe. And hopefully maybe they can change that in the last 4 minutes here.
Looking at your Defiance 5, it looks like the starters, Rollins, Letterman, Rollison, Ramirez, and Fernandez will break the huddle. For the Indians, it's Gadsden, Betts, Morris on the floor. Yes, she is in the corner. Again, Wilson with those 3 fouls early in this half, finally back in the fourth quarter.
Defiance playing man-to-man.
You have to at this point. You can't sit back in a zone. Wilson trying to post up hard now, sets a hard screen. Is that going to be an illegal screen? The whistle sounding. Ramirez hit the deck, and it is. That's going to be Wilson's 4th.
Yeah. What's he going to do?
At this point, you've got a 6-point lead. I think you leave her out there and tell her to play smart.
Defiance has got to know this. You got
to attack. You bet.
Attack her.
If you're number 33, Alexandria Fernandez, you post up. You get into her body and say, give me the basketball. Although right now she was coming out to set a screen.
We're definitely thinking alike here.
The ball being pushed farther and farther out. Leatherman now on the drive, running one-hander. That looked like an uncomfortable shot. She saw number 34 closing out on her.
That's not a good shot. If you have to, just jump stop, kick it out, reset it. Every possession's critical.
And the Defiance needed to score that trip down the court as we approach 3 minutes left to go in the game. Going up strong, that might be the dagger. Betts.
Nice backdoor cut there.
Lead is 8, under 3 minutes left to go. Defiance has got to hustle. Rollins spots up for a long 3. Nothing doing, or is it?
What hit the wire.
Oh, my goodness. You know it's not your night. You just know it's not your night. Gadsden goes over the top. Wilson's is not who you want bringing the ball up, and yet look at her go.
Gosh.
Point center running, lots of contact, and I think that's going to be Defiance's ball. It will be. You can't fault the aggressiveness. How many times have you said, I'd rather have an athlete make an aggressive mistake than a passive one?
Amen.
But she did her job when she broke the press.
She did.
Would you have rather seen her slow down and kick it back out at that point?
At this point in the game, yeah, definitely, because you got points on your side, time on your side.
Look at this. Fernandez backing her down. Body on body, and that might be number 5.
There we go. Great awareness. Great awareness.
Who's it on? It's not. It's going to be number 23, Patterson, her 3rd, and Wilson stays in the game. Right now, it doesn't matter. If you're Fernandez, you've got to make these.
Got to make them. I didn't quite see that. I thought it was on the big girl, but.
In and out. And the frustrations at the foul line continue for the Bulldogs. And in particular, number 33. She was so good in the first quarter, 3 for 4. She's yet to make one. She is now 0 for 6 here in the second half.
Yeah, we said in the break, it's probably going to be the difference in the game here.
It's not just her, folks. It's everybody.
Oh, yeah.
As an aggregate, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. As a team, Defiance has missed 9 free throws tonight. The inbounds. Look at Wilson. She doesn't care. She's got 4. Spin move. Are they going to call a travel? Are they calling a foul? Was a timeout called before the shot went up? Whoa, and Coach Lewis wants an explanation. Yeah, he's still looking over. Nobody's going to come over and talk to him, but right now he's got to refocus and get his team locked in for the final 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, definitely
Wow.
they got to put their game plan on here, defensively and offensively.
We talked about it in the pregame, Coach. Again, coming into this game, Shawnee averaged just under 21 turnovers a ball game. Unofficially, I've got him for 17. That's a lot. And yet at the same time, Defiance just hasn't been able to take advantage of them.
No, they haven't. And, like you said, we talked about it. That was going to be critical. You just take half of that, or not even half of that. Take a quarter of that. If you could convert that, you're ahead. You're ahead on the scoreboard, and that's all that matters right now.
The score right now is almost reversed from the first meeting between these two teams.
Yeah.
Back on January 16th, Defiance won in the same gym, 45-38. Well, right now it's Shawnee up 43-35.
Excellent point there. Yeah, Defiance has done what they needed to do defensively. They just haven't been able to capitalize it offensively.
Well,
we got some time, though.
Again, I thought at the half with 19-17 being the score, first one to 40. We're barely over 40 for Shawnee, but
you might have called it.
It looks like it's going to be enough tonight unless Defiance has an absolute tornado in them in the final 2:10. And a good inbounds pass, a foul. Brim Patterson will be going to the line. And let's see whose this is on. Is it Ramirez?
Yeah, it's on Ramirez. Yep. Just a step late there.
Patterson, 2 points at the half, looking for her first points here the second half. They won't come on this one.
Like to see Defiance get the rebound and get out and just go. When they're aggressive, good things happen.
Couple of dribbles. Patterson's second is on the way. Off the mark and an offensive board. Whetstone with it.
That hurts.
Well, at what point now, if you're Defiance, do you have to foul?
Yeah.
You've got to extend this ball game.
Yeah, definitely.
Gadsden releases it. We're now under 2 minutes left to go, and it's clear Shawnee's going to just work the ball around the court. Unless there's the Red Sea parts and they get a wide open driving lane, they're just going to milk clock.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Yeah. Defiance is at 3 fouls, so I definitely would foul right here.
Well, that's a heads-up play by Fernandez. And look at this, the foul coming at the other end. Patterson throws her hands up saying, I was falling forward, but the official didn't quite see it that way. So Defiance will inbound, but they've got to score, and they've got to score quick.
Yep. Quick score, timeout, set everything up, do it again.
Down by 8. Right now it is a 3-possession game, so you don't necessarily need a 3, but you just need a quick score.
Yep, double screen for Rollins.
Rollins is going to take it baseline, cuts through, nice Sigma move, but couldn't get the roll, and it's out of bounds off Ramirez. And it's beginning to look dimmer and dimmer for Defiance's chances.
I really thought she came off the double screen and she's just going to spot it up and shoot the 3, but she drove instead. Can't fault her for that. Good executed play. Just got to finish it.
Gadsden, who I don't want to say has been an anonymous voice in the chorus. I mean, this is a freshman point guard. Between her and Wilson, obviously Williams off the bench, another freshman. How good is this Shawnee team going to be next year and then the year after?
They're going to be good. Yep.
Gadsden stripped, and they're finally going to call a foul on Leatherman. That'll be the sophomores first. Problem is you didn't have enough fouls if you are Defiance right now. You still got to get a couple more quickly here.
Yeah.
The inbounds. Well, spin move. Morris trying to dribble out of it. And again, you're up by 8. Milk the clock. And that's exactly what the Indians are doing. And Defiance is not fouling.
You got to go for the steal. You got to deny. You got to deny.
She's flirting with 5.
Got to deny.
Gadsden.
Trap it and deny.
Yep, working east-west. And at this point, it looks like Defiance is conceding. They are not fouling. Shawnee, just as I say that, Rollison fouls Cam Morris. Rollison with her 3rd.
You got 2 choices. You either foul or you trap and deny. That's the only thing you can do in that situation. And whatever you do, you just got to make the decision and do it. You just can't let time go off the clock.
Well, this is going to be a tough one to swallow on their home court for not a ton of seniors on this roster, but it doesn't make any difference as she hits both. 45-35 makes it a 10-point lead. Rollins, step back three. Looks like it's got too much on it. Fernandez with the board. She's going to spin, and wow, it's just been that kind of night. That kind of night.
Good looks, just won't go.
Well, they didn't travel with a ton, but those that did have something to cheer about, as with 1/4 of a second left to go in this ball game, Shawnee's fans are on their feet as they get a little payback after losing here in the regular season. This is where it matters. Survive and advance. The Indians have earned the right to wear the uniform one more time. They will advance to the next round next Wednesday against Lima Senior. And for Defiance, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Still a great season after winning just 2 games last year to win 8 this season. But they'll have to sit on this one for a while as they'll have to pack up the gear until next year. We're going to take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. We'll be back with our South 66 Lanes postgame show. Shawnee 45, Defiance 35, Mark Moats Ford, serving the Defiance community since 1916, located on County Road 424 and online at markmoatsford.com. Back with our postgame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the Dog Pound, it's time for the South Lane 66 post-game show. DCTV Sports at the Dog Pound here this evening as we're opening up the postseason, the opening round of sectionals. Brent Balbinot alongside the coach Chris Dales. It was nip and tuck through the first half. As a matter of fact, a 1-point lead for Defiance at the end of 8. A 2-point lead at the half for the Indians, but that third quarter especially, nobody could have imagined this, with starting center Cadence Wilson picking up her third foul. She sat all but 21 seconds of that third quarter, and yet the bench stepped up, the rest of the starters stepped up, and then the next thing you know, it was a 7-point lead at the end of the third 8 minutes, and Shawnee never looked back en route to a 45-35 win. Coach, I look down at Coach Leroy Lewis. He may come up, he may not. We'll do a slightly longer edition of our post-game show, but if he does not, completely understandable. Look, you've been there before, different sports. What, if anything, can you tell your team in a moment like this?
The first thing that you do is you're going to spend some extra time with your seniors. I'm sure that there's some hugs and some tears going on in the locker room, and well, there should be. So you spend time with your seniors. I'm sure the girls are rallying behind the seniors, and you just thank them because you sacrifice, you put a lot of time in, you put a lot of effort in, and you want to make sure that you let the girls know that because it's the last time that you're really in that locker room, in that setting, and you just pour your heart out to them because there's so much that goes into high school sports nowadays, and just a big thank you and appreciation is really important.
All right, now you hear the other end of that equation on the floor as Shawnee is up and they're cutting down the nets as they have earned the right to wear their uniform one more time. They'll advance to the next round to take on Lima Senior next Wednesday. Circling back to what you were talking about, only 2 seniors on this roster, and we saw Eliza Ramirez, obviously emotion was hitting her as she was walking down the tunnel. For the other senior, Samantha Hohenberger, I don't know if it makes it any easier knowing you couldn't get on the court or if that just twists the knife. With that knee injury, she's scheduled to have corrective surgery. But several weeks ago, her season ended. But you cannot short credit the contributions that both of those 2 seniors made. I know that the record doesn't show it. I know they wanted to pick up their first postseason win in several years, but what those 2 seniors have helped do is lay a foundation. It's like planting a seed, right? You might not be around to see the tree grow to its fullest height, but you know that you were responsible for its beginning.
And that's where Coach Lewis, I'm sure, is really, really proud of these girls. And like I said, he sees the whole picture to the program, and it starts with your seniors. And they do so much more than just basketball stuff. They mentor the other girls. They tell them what's supposed to be expected out of them, what to do in the classroom, how to conduct yourself. You name all of it. And that's where you really cherish your seniors. And these 2 are great young ladies. And I know my daughter's one of the assistant coaches, and she talks very highly of them. And you can't ask for anything more. And yeah, it stinks that you lose, but they have a lot to be proud about. And one last thing is the program's getting better.
Absolutely.
And that's because of them.
We talked about being boss with the ball. Normally you don't survive 20 turnovers per ball game, and I know these are unofficial. Shawnee was close. What did you have for both teams tonight unofficially?
Well, I had Shawnee with 16 turnovers, and I had Defiance with 14. So, pretty even. But I think that the key was Defiance not being able to capitalize on the turnovers that they got. They got really good looks. I don't know how many bunny shots they missed, but I think that was a huge factor in the game. And, of course, I'm sure we'll touch upon the foul shooting here in a second.
Let's run down the unofficial scoring totals leading all players here this evening. Defiance's point guard, Jamie Fuzz Rollins, finishes with 17. She had 10 at the half, 7 in the second quarter. 5 points for Nadia Leatherman. She just had trouble jump-starting her offense tonight. Here's one. It's not who scored, but who didn't score. Bella Rollison, who's normally in double figures, normally a consistent second scorer on this roster, held to just 6 points tonight. And I don't know that I saw her maybe take more than 1, probably 2 shots where she had both feet set underneath her, square to the basket, and I guess just looked comfortable, for lack of a better term.
And and sometimes you got to give the other team a little bit of credit. They had Defiance scouted well, and they were on her. They weren't going to allow her to set up out there. And when she did, she just didn't look exactly fundamentally correct. And give Shawnee some credit there.
Rounding out the scoring for the Bulldogs, Izzy Ramirez finishes with 4. Alexandra Fernandez finishes with 3. On the flip side for the Indians, talk about balance. All 5 starters in scoring, and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 bench players, good for 15 points off the bench tonight, led by Ava Gadsden with 13 points. The freshman point guard is going to be something, folks. 7 points for Morgan Betts, 5 points for Cadence Wilson, and that's without scoring in the second half. and that tells you something about the rest of her teammates stepping up. 4 points for Cam Morris, a deuce for Bryn Patterson, 5 off the bench for Anna Menke, a deuce for Alexis Whetstone, 7 for Lauren Potts, including a 3, and then 1 for 2 from the foul line for another freshman, Maya Williams. It all adds up to a 45-35 final. We're going to take another quick timeout. Back with more of the South 66 Lanes postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Well, they're cutting down the nets after winning their postseason opener. Shawnee 45, Defiance 35. With the win, the Indians are now 9-14 overall. Technically, this doesn't count as a conference win, as the regular season ended for them at 2-7. On the flip side, the Bulldogs fall to 8-15 overall. They finished the WBL one game below 500 at 4-5. But again, we can't reiterate this enough. This is a Defiance team that is on the rise, a squad that won just 2 games total last year. They were 1-8 in conference play to finish the regular season 8-14 and 4-5. And look, Coach Lewis and I sat down once and went up and down the schedule from the very opener to a couple weeks ago, and he pointed at probably 3 or 4 games where he said, you know what, sometimes you tip your cap to the opponent and say, you won, you beat us. There are other times where if you honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, we lost that one. He felt that this team probably should be about 11-11 and 2 games above 500 in the WBL. With that said, something to build on, as we talked about, with only 2 exceptions, Samantha Hohenberger and Eliza Ramirez. Only 2 seniors on this roster. Everybody is back next year. So I know you've got multiple sport athletes in schools this size, and you would encourage that. You want kids to play multiple sports. But at the same time, how often do you hear it? Okay, summer, travel ball. And if you're not playing on a travel team, be a gym rat. Get your butt in and work on some things. I know it's going to sting for a while, but if you're a coach, usually what's the message to your players who will be returning next year? How much time do you want them to maybe step away, just decompress a little bit, kind of gather things, get their sense of perspective back before you start focusing on what you're going to do next?
Well, I think what you got to do first of all is I always had exit interviews, okay? And those were huge. You sit down with each player individually or with your coaching staff, and, you point out the things that they did really well, we want to build on, point out some things that you need to work on, and you take that and then you launch that into, your summer stuff. And it might be someone going into a leadership role. It might be someone, getting in and, working on whatever the drop step or whatever it may be. But it starts with that, and then you have to find your captains who you feel are going to be your leaders to kind of rally everybody together, get them to the open gym workouts in the summer. If you play on an AAU team, great. But then hey, let's get to some shootouts. Let's go have some fun. Let's travel. Let's go out to eat. Maybe we'll spend the night at some place, whatever. Build that camaraderie among the team and just have some fun and get better along the way. And I think he's on the right
Absolutely.
path.
I don't think there's any question. With that said, I don't believe we're going to have Coach coming up for a post-game interview, and that is completely understandable as the emotions have to be incredibly raw in that locker room right now. But before we sign off, I certainly want to say thank you to Coach Lewis and his staff. They have been exceptional each of the last 2 years, opening up the program to me, allowing me to watch practice, obviously talk to the players themselves, and, of course, we cannot wait to go ahead and get back to it next season. But that's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening as we put a wrap on the South 66 postgame show. Coach, we're not finished yet. We still are waiting to see how both Ayersville and Tenora's teams play out, as well as Defiance's boys, who will wrap up the regular season tomorrow night and then are back here next week. So we're not done just yet, so keep that voice golden as always. Hot tea with honey. For our entire crew doing more than yeoman's work here this evening, thanking our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility, and as always, you the fan for tuning in. For Chris Dales, I'm Brent Balbinot. Final score tonight, Shawnee 45, Defiance 35. Bulldogs wrap up their season. The Indians advance to next week's second round against Lima Senior. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.